Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Russell Westbrook and the Clippers hosting LeBron and the Lakers tonight. Westbrook talked about this game and said, quote, "It's an important game for us collectively. It's probably going to be an important game for them as well. So it's just going to be a big game overall, making sure we're ready to go. My job is to make sure us in the locker room are locked in and ready to compete." All right, Shannon, what are you expecting from Russ tonight?
I expect him to be Russ, Skip. Kawhi is going to be there tonight. So the likelihood of him getting more shots than Kawhi, when Kawhi and PG went out, he had that great ball game. And that's probably one of the best games that he's played in the 2 years since he's been in L.A.
Agreed.
With the Lakers and the Clippers.
Yep.
But how great can he be with Kawhi? The offense is going to run through Kawhi. I'm not expecting a otherworldly revenge game. Now, I don't know. Maybe Ty Lue tries to go out and but they need this game also. This is not a situation where we got to throw a good game, Skip, and we can say, okay, Russ, go try to do 50 points to show them what they're missing out on. I don't believe they can go out of their way to try to get Russ numbers. They need to win this game as much as the Lakers need to win this game. But when you look at it, the Clippers are 8-10 since Russ joined. In 52 games with the Lakers this season, Russ averaged 16 points, 6 rebounds, 7.5 assists, 42% from the floor, 30% from the three-point line in about 30 minutes. With the Clippers in 18 games, he's 15-5-8, 48% field goals, 32% for three on 30 minutes a game. So, I mean, if you look at it statistically, he was better with the Lakers than he was with the Clippers.
More volume.
Yeah,
right.
And he was playing less minutes and putting up more numbers. Mm-hmm. The question is, how does Russ approach this game? Does he look at it as a get back? I'm gonna show you. You know what your Mr.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. Then.
Yeah.
Because if he do that, we gonna get about 7-8 turnovers.
We
will get a couple of air ball from threes, and we'll win the game. So I'm hoping he's like, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna show up.
He's going to try to show you with all his might and all his heart and all his soul, all of his fiber, all of his being will be focused on this game tonight. So I'm going to reiterate my stance on this. I am still in shocked awe that the Clippers took the plunge on Russ, that when the Lakers managed to get out from under him, they said, we want to be under him, right?
Yes.
Like we want him.
Yes.
And now all the Clippers quotes are about how great Russ has been. His Zubats was talking yesterday, and he says, honestly, this is Zubats. Again, he's been there. He's been a Laker and a Clipper. And he says, honestly, he's been way better than I thought he'd be, that he's been fitting in pretty good so far. Here's more. This was a laugh out loud for me. He's a great leader also. He's very vocal, something we needed. You did?
Yeah.
What?
Well, first of all, Kawhi doesn't talk.
No. Paul talks.
Paul would talk, but he's injured now, Skip. Yeah. So who else has the cachet that's going to say, I
Gordon, Marcus Morris has the cachet, but he's been being phased out of the rotation a little bit.
It's kind of hard to have the same kind of cachet, Skip, when you're playing fewer and fewer minutes and your role has been diminished.
Okay, but who's the prominent voice in the locker room? It's that head coach who is one of the best, if not the best, head coaches. And I will compliment Ty Lue because what he's done so far with Russ, so good. I just say he's going to come back to haunt you and undo you when you least expect it. When you most think you can trust him is when you're going to get bitten in the butt.
Right.
Because he's still high turnovers. He's second to last in three-point shooting to Banchero. Russ ranks 149th out of 150. And he's one of the worst free throw shooters. And to your point, you always ask, once upon a time, he used to be an 80%er. Now he's a 66%er. Well, it's your basic recipe for disaster. You can't shoot threes, you're high turnovers, and if you ask him to make free throws, he can't make those either. What's to like about him except that he plays hellacious hard on offense, not on defense.
Right.
Although I've watched them closely, he does on occasion crank it up on defense for the Clippers because I think he's trying to show the Lakers you messed up when you tried to get when you did get rid of him. They've been trying to get rid of him for 6 months.
Well, the thing is, Skip, with Paul George out, he's your second best player. But when AD's in the ball game and LeBron's in the ball game, he's your third best option.
Okay.
And you can't have more shots than AD and LeBron.
Yeah. Did you see the quote, anonymous quote from some scout, NBA scout? This is about the Lakers' disaster with Russ. Asking Russ to be a 3-and-D guy is like asking Wilt Chamberlain to be a point guard. So the conclusion is same city, lower expectations, less pressure. He is value added to the Clippers. Okay,
Skip, and that's all I've been trying to say. The expectations with the Lakers versus and OKC versus Houston versus Washington versus now. They're not asking Russ what the Lakers were asking of Russ and what the fans expected of Russ.
Yes.
So now, Skip, if let's just say for the sake of argument, Skip, Christmas. Well, man, my mom, they struggling this year. They already told me things now. So I'm not expecting anything.
No.
Skip, if I just get a pair of shoes, I don't care what I get. That's better than what I was expecting.
But you got a bicycle.
Like, whoa, Russ.
Yeah.
Anything that he gives them is more than what the Clippers were expecting from him, consider what the Lakers expected of him.
My problem was I picked the Clippers to win it all this year without Russ, and I really liked him without Russ. So he's value added they didn't need.
Right.
I thought Terrence Mann was really good in that role.
Yes,
and now his role has been diminished because Russ is there.
Right.
Well, you got to find some room for Russ. He's still going to get his 28 minutes at the expense of Terrence Mann.
Yep.
At the expense of, name them, down the line, because they're a pretty deep team.
Yes.
But now guys are going to the bench more and more because Russ is playing more and more.
Yep.
And he's playing, quote unquote, better and better. It's fool's gold.
Yeah.
So tonight,
the expectations of him are just lower and lower.
They're lower and lower. I got it. So the Clippers are on fire. We got this guy. And then I read Russ quotes, again, laugh out loud. My job is to get the team focused in the locker. What are you talking about? Your job is to get yourself focused because it's always about you. Help me out. When has it ever been really about the team?
You got to get it focused.
Right.
Kawhi ain't going to get no pep talk.
No, he's not.
I want to hear it, though.
But I think the head coach will give you a pretty good pep talk, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Shannon, he is going to be hell-bent tonight. And to your point earlier in the show, you should just dare him to shoot. Do the Caitlin Clark. Just wave at him. Just say, shoot it.
Hey,
go ahead.
We ain't studying you.
Yeah, because some of this crowd's going to be Laker crowd, even though it's a Clipper home game. You know, the Laker fans are going to manage to get their share of these seats. And they are the ones that are going to give him hell. They gave him hell. Remember, they were like, no, when he'd start to pull up from the corner, shoot that corner three.
Remember.
Because air ball, here it comes. So to your point, I see 2 air balls. I'm going to say conservatively 6 turnovers.
6?
Yep. And those will contribute to a Laker victory, given LeBron and AD playing.
Well, we definitely need that victory.
Yeah.
We need that 6th spot.
I think you need that 6th spot with those 6 turnovers.
A lot of folks eagerly awaiting that injury report coming out this morning.
Yep.
Guys, are the Warriors proving they could be a problem in the West? Speaking of these rankings and this traffic jam that is the Western Conference, let's discuss up next.